did you think I was?
Nothing. Ghost.
Hey y'all, it's Mrs. Mod here, and guess what? We got the whole crew together for our very first review of 2025 as a fan bam. Mods and the mini mods, we back, baby. Today, we're going to be diving into Disney's live-action remake of Snow White, which is directed by Marc Webb. First off, the singing, y'all. Y'all know how I feel about the singing and musicals and all that. But at first, don't get me wrong, I was kind of vibing with it. You know, I whispered to Mod, I was like, this isn't too bad. I'm enjoying myself, right? But then it didn't stop. There was more singing, back to back singing. There were scenes where they should have just been having regular conversations, but no, what are we doing? We're singing instead of talking. And my mood, it shifted real quick. Now, I've seen the original Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, right? But I don't really remember it being that much of a musical marathon. Correct me, y'all, if I'm wrong. Snow White herself, played by Rachel Zegler, she wasn't bad. She got some vocals, she can sing, didn't know that. And with the material she was given, she delivered. I give her that. But I'm not gonna lie, she had these Paula Patton blank stare moments that took me out of it. If y'all know, y'all know. Okay, back on track. Sorry, y'all. Oh, and I heard some of her comments about the original movie before this one dropped. And, she kind of was saying the prince was a stalker in the original. I'm going to say no, that wasn't the case. The prince was in love. He's trying to get his woman, his girl. He's trying to save her, not lurking in the bushes like some medieval bandit, and then Gal Gadot. Now look, I try not to be too judgmental from my seat. I don't want to say terrible, but she just wasn't the right pick as the evil queen. She's not a believable villain, and that's okay, but her singing moments came, it didn't really fit the tone of the movie at all. It felt out of place. It felt like she was just trying to be funny and not make you believe that she's really like this evil villain.
All right, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. Snow White, right off the bat, has always been a mid-tier princess for me. No hate, no slander. I'm just giving you my true opinion. The story never really hit home. Disney princesses usually have some type of uniqueness about them, right? Even back in my Kingdom Hearts days, Snow White was never on my radar. Now in this version, just like Zegler told us, there's no prince saving the day. The focus is more on Snow White overcoming her childhood struggles and dealing with her stepmother. We also see how the Wicked Queen really schemed her way into power after Snow White's mother dies, and how the princess still fought for the common folk despite her own struggles. Cool concept, but did it really make me care about Snow White more? They gave us some callbacks and some familiar moments, and the music though, it didn't push the story forward. The motivations, nothing really felt like in place, except, the iconic and the top tier music that we've known from this movie. I just didn't feel nothing watching it. Look, I get the historic significance behind Snow White, I really do, but we gotta be real, this isn't the movie that's gonna change that overall mindset of the Disney live action remakes. It's just another one in the pile, unfortunately.
This is my first time ever seeing a Snow White movie, and I really had a good time with this one.
After seeing Snow White, there's nothing interesting or cool about the movie. It's my first time seeing any Snow White movies, and I'm not the type of person who would really watch Disney movies like this.
The songs were so good. I love music a lot. I'll be listening to all the songs from the movie.
Disney has a way of pulling at our heartstrings. As kids, and even for us millennials, their animated films were the gold standard growing up. And sometimes they still hit. But this time, as you can see with the minis, it just landed differently. They kept some parts of the original story the same, but not everything. And I guess they wanted to make it more modern. But I went in with the expectation that I was gonna see Snow White through and through, like the original, but just a live action. But I got more of Snow White and the Huntsman mixed with a modernized retelling. And y'all, let's talk about the doors. They were heavily CGI animated, and I was not feeling it. Once I saw that, I was like, no, what are we doing? But it did give me Polar Express vibes, And it would have been fine if maybe the whole movie was animated in that style, but they didn't, and I just didn't like it.
And speaking of, it's wild to even say the dwarves might be the best and the worst part of the movie. Yes, the CGI, it's glaring, definitely at the beginning, but once you get settled in, you're able to get past it, of course, for the most part. And they do give them a good development throughout, and you do enjoy seeing their interactions for the most part. And you guys know, we always got to lean this one way or the other. This one definitely is more towards the kiddo side, having a lot of that adult conflict smoothed over a little bit. It's not as creepy. It's definitely keeping in the firm, family-friendly flick lane and the musical side of it. So here's my take. I come to appreciate the art of musicals, great ones at least. When you got something as grand as Wicked or even a fresh perspective like Mufasa, you see the effort behind that. But this, it doesn't do really either. And because of that, it really holds back the story that they're trying to tell. Even by the end, it didn't feel like Snow White had any real kind of arc to them. Even from the early on and going through the stretches of the act, I really felt like those filler moments and that ragtag group of characters, it just didn't feel like anything was really meshing towards the end. Of course, you got to hit those memory beats, those nostalgia beats, as you would say. But overall, I just didn't get that true connection throughout the movie.
You really know me, I'm not the type of person who likes singing. I mean, there was too much back-to-back singing, which made me care less about the movie. But hey, for the Disney Princesses fan, or Snow White fans, this is maybe right up your alley.
Disney is still trying to find its footing, and honestly, I don't think this one is really moving the needle. But, hey, movies, especially the classics, are all about perspective. And if you're a fan of Zegler or Snow White herself, you'll probably have a good time with this one, right? And when it comes to the kiddos, there's always a dice roll. At the end of the day, as parents, that's what it really comes down to. But let's get to what y'all really came here for. Our final verdict. Even factoring in what we call our kiddo curve, what do we officially give Disney Snow White? Save for stream.
The #1 streaming video service, Amazon Prime.
Now it's your turn. Have you seen Snow White? Or are you a fan of the live-action Disney remakes? If so, what's your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. We always love to hear your guys' perspectives. If you made it this far in the video, please like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, tell someone you love them. We love y'all. God bless y'all. And let us go to the movies for you.
Bye.